guess we'll go ahead and get started just to make sure we have time for questions. So thank you everyone for being here this afternoon. My name is Jordan and I'm one of the staff members in New Student Family Services. And so we're excited to have our colleagues here from the University Honors Program to talk a little bit about their programs and get everybody oriented. As you can see on the screen, there's some housekeeping stuff. So just to let you know, if you have questions throughout it, please use the Q&A function. All participants are muted and we can't see you or hear you, so don't worry about that. And in case you come in a little bit later, we'll just let you know that a recording of this session will be available next week so that you can come back and review any of the information as well. So with that, I will turn it over to our presenters.
Excellent, thanks Jordan. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Denis Lynch. And we are so happy to have you with us today. I know that there are some of you in the audience who are not members of UHP, and that's perfectly fine. Hopefully you'll see something in this presentation that'll get you excited about honors, and then you can apply for next year when the portal opens in October of this year. So as I said, my name is Denis Lynch. I am the coordinator of programming for the Honors College, and I also oversee the first year honors experience for those of you in the University Honors Program. As such, I wear many hats, and so you will see as we're going through this. This is my team player hat because we are all members of a really awesome team. And we all have the goal of having a really great experience for all of our students. And presenting with me today are some of my teammates, Dr. Pereira and Misty Morin. They will introduce themselves to you shortly. But I also want to call your attention to the deep bench of professionals that we have on our staff. You can also check out our staff video on our YouTube channel, UNC Charlotte Honors College, and then you'll see just little snippets of everybody telling you what we do and why we love working in honors. So take some time to do that. But first, I'm going to introduce to you a recent graduate of our program and our marketing intern for the summer until we lose her to a permanent job that she got. So yay, Misty. But this is Misty Morin.
Hey everybody, like Ms. Lynch said, my name is Misty Morin. I, of course, attended UNC Charlotte. I spent a good 4 years doing all things honors. I was an English and Spanish double major. I was in the University Honors Program all 4 years, was an ambassador, served on the executive board, all of that. And I was a Martin Scholar. And then I did departmental honors with language and cultural studies. So I can tell you anything you need to know about student experience in UHP, at UNCC in general. I can also talk to you about competitive scholarships if that's something you're interested in. I worked very closely with Ms. James, you can see on the screen, who's the scholar advisor. And I won a Fulbright scholarship to go teach in Spain. And I've just come back from that due to COVID-19. So I'm here back in Charlotte and hoping to answer some of your questions today and to wish you luck as you start attending UNCC. It's a great school. Now I'll be introducing Dr. Pereira, or as we so lovingly know her, Dr. P. She is the Executive Director of the Honors College and is excited to tell you more about what you're ready to experience.
Great, thanks so much, Misty. Yes, I'm Dr. P. I'm an English professor and I've been with the Honors College now, leading it for 8 years and probably been the best job of my life. So the Honors College at UNC Charlotte is large with 30 different honors programs. So there are lots of opportunities for you here, but you'll come to know more about that once you're on campus. What's important for you to know now as a member or a potential member of UHP is that you are part of the oldest, largest multi-year honors program on campus and the only one that accepts all majors. UHP is really the heart or core of the Honors College. UHP is a small community of students who all share a similar curiosity about the world around them. You are both interesting and interested. Through your applications or potential applications, you demonstrate the ability to nerd out about things that you really care about. So I, for example, wrote my senior thesis on Star Trek. Woo! This is a pizza cutter. Yes, I have props to keep this interesting. So I wrote about it in relation to Jungian and Freudian psychology and Greek and Roman mythology. That's the way you can nerd out in the Honors College about something that really interests you. One of the biggest benefits too that you will get from UHP is the community you will form. I think of Monty Python and the Holy Grail when I think of the kind of band you will form with your fellow honors students. You will learn so much from one another. One of our goals in setting the curriculum or set of classes that you will take in UHP is to help you blend your unique interests and community into your academic experience at UNC Charlotte. For example, if you've been reading the essays of Zadie Smith, or if you've been reading Sapiens, which I know a bunch of people in their 20s and teen years are reading, you can then draw upon that in your coursework in the University Honors Program. All of our courses have an interdisciplinary focus. And what that means is they don't just draw on one academic discipline, such as history or psychology, but we look for interesting and unexpected intersections among various disciplines. For example, in my interdisciplinary course, which is called Inquiry into the Visual Arts, students might write on Jean-Michel Basquiat. But when they do, they won't necessarily write an art history paper because I'm not an art historian and neither are they. They might write a paper on the social, cultural, or political resonances in Basquiat's paintings. We also believe it is important for your coursework to engage you as part of the local community, both here in the university and in the Charlotte metropolitan area more broadly. To that end, honors courses will often push you or welcome you out to the community from the classroom and into Charlotte to do observational research in the city, to experience art, Diego Rivera, music, John Coltrane, Beethoven, woo, Charlotte Symphony, and also to volunteer with various community partners from whom you will learn so much. We hope that you will use all of these opportunities to develop your own identity as a scholar, a leader, and a citizen, and to figure out what your own contribution will be while you're at UNC Charlotte and after you graduate. It's a mutual investment, us in you and you in us and in the world. We're excited to meet you in the fall and to get to work with you over the next 4 years. Thanks for attending this.
Thanks, Dr. P.
Back to you, Ms. Lynch.
Woohoo! All right, so as you can see, there are a lot of ways to engage once you're on campus as well as being off campus. And you'll get some incredible experience by doing that and by engaging in these opportunities and by having these experiences, then it empowers you to feel more confident in being able to face the challenges that you might have both as a student on campus and then even beyond. So that's why you'll see engage, experience, and empower around the Honors College. All right, so let me just also make sure, here we go. All right, so before we jump into curricular requirements, I also want to talk about some of our extracurricular expectations that we have. If I can get this hair out of my face. As you can see on the screen, we have certain expectations because we want you to engage in your environment, and that is through service, that is through social, that is through enrichment opportunities, as well as attending the UHP student body meetings that we have to be able to disseminate the information. This coming semester, we're not 100% sure what that's going to look like. So obviously we ask for your flexibility as we get into the semester to make sure that we are all doing what is safe and what is right. But when you are interacting or not interacting, when you are being engaged in these opportunities, we also have an app for your phone called Helper that helps you to track what is available to attend, what's coming up, all of those things. And so it's a really simple process. It's not a lot of extra. It just helps to give you a more well-rounded experience in the Honors College, because honors isn't just about books. Honors is about life. You live honors. So we also have special dedicated advisors within the honors program. As you can see, I will be the advisor for your first year in honors. Miss James will be your advisor for all your remaining years in honors. She is also a really amazing person to know because she does advising for some of our for the nationally competitive scholarships you might or might not be familiar with. But I would highly recommend looking into that, because you can get thousands of dollars all the way up to a full ride for graduate school to help with undergrad, with any sort of study abroad, summer experiences, all that sort of stuff. So those are really cool things to be looking into even now as you are preparing for those in your future. Okay, and then we also have the snapshot of the curriculum is a really cool way to look at what we are requiring of you from a class perspective. As you can see, 20 credit hours overall is what allows you to graduate with a distinction in university honors. We have 4 required classes that you see on the left, and then we have 4 elective classes that you can take, anything that is honors related. So that can be a liberal studies or a gen ed that you need in order to graduate from college. If you take an honors section of that, then you also get to count that towards honors. The minimum requirement though with electives is that you are taking at least 2 of the honors college topics, which can vary broadly depending on who the professor is that happens to be teaching those classes. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Also wanted to just share with you, because those of you who are in UHP have already seen these graphics, because I sent them to you in an email to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. This is just one example of a possible way that you can do honors in 4 years. This is obviously not a cookie cutter experience, so whatever works best for your schedule. We do recommend that you do one honors section or one honors class a semester. The exception to that might be if you're in the 1700 class, which is the colloquium class, which is required for everybody who is starting UHP in the fall. That's a 1 credit class. So you could also, if you still needed an LBST 1100, like Arts and Society, it was something that you needed for graduation, that's a perfect class to start with at the beginning of honors, because it allows you to kind of wade in the shallow end to kind of get an idea of what honors classes would be like, rather than jumping in headfirst to an honors topics class or a more advanced LBST class. But I will also say that when we get into the scheduling part that I'm going to allow Misty to talk to you a little more about, a lot of what is going to be determinant, a lot of what will determine what you take is what's offered. So unfortunately, we don't have the staff to be able to offer all the classes all the time. So your choices in honors classes vary from semester to semester, which is really kind of cool because it gives you a broad range of things that you can take. So just don't try to plan too far ahead, just get a general idea of what you're looking for in your courses. But now I'm gonna shift the plate over to, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and allow Misty to share her screen so that she can walk you through how you can find some of these honors courses in Banner.
There we go. Okay, hopefully everyone can hear me and also see my screen. So this is my UNC Charlotte. Hopefully all of you have looked at this page at some point during your SOAR experience. Hopefully you're at least a tad bit familiar with what this does. It's essentially your home base for everything you need. So you can access your email, your Connect for advising. You can also access the library website. But what we're talking about today is Banner SelfService, which is where we register for classes. You can also click the registration add drop button. So let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the look up classes to add feature. You can just add courses by their CRN if you go to our website and see, oh, we're offering an honors dance class this semester, and we lay out all the classes we have to offer for every semester. But in case you're just browsing and seeing what works well on your schedule, you can just go to look up classes to add. We're going to go fall 2020, of course. Okay. So then we have the list by subjects. So everyone needs at least 2 liberal studies honors classes. So we're going to scroll down to liberal studies, click it and hit course search. Okay, and it comes up with all the different type of liberal studies courses that we offer. So for example, let's hit view sections of art and society, dance. There we go. So what we see on this page is a list of courses that are available for registration. Now, how do we tell that these classes are honors and have that distinction? An easy way is to Control F to use the search function on your computer and just type in H. Okay, there's a lot of H's on the page, but the one you're looking for is within the section number of the course. All honors classes are designated with an H in front of the section number. You can see here H71 is going to be an honors dance LBST. You also see the honors distinction right here in the course title. So that's how you find what courses are labeled honors. Let's go to new search. Again, we're going to do fall 2020. And if you're looking later down the line and you want honors, they're all listed under university honors. So if you're looking for those 3,700 topics classes, colloquium right here, all of these classes under university honors are going to be honors sections. So we have the topics and then the senior seminar for later on down the line when you're getting ready to graduate. And I do want to say with honors classes, you don't need to be intimidated or frightened or think that they're going to be too difficult. They are different than other classes. They are smaller, which is great. It's more discussion based rather than large lecture style. And we always say they're not more challenging, but they do challenge you to think differently is what these classes do. So don't go into this being a little overwhelmed. These classes are really great and you do learn so much about our school, our city, especially with City as Text. And they're great experiences. I loved all of my honors classes and definitely like Dr. P said, it's the perfect way to nerd out, especially if you can find topics that you're really interested in. So that is all about Banner. I hope I can answer any questions for you at the end if you have any, but that's it. So I'm going to pass the baton back to Denise now. Ms. Lynch.
Okay, click unmute, click share screen. Let's just make sure
it's complicated.
We're just doing this smoothly. All right, so here we go. Hopefully everybody can see that again. Okay, changing topics, changing hats, because we wear a lot of hats in the Honors College, and a lot of these hats are my kids' hats, so that's why they look like they're really small on my head, but they get the point across. So I did want to make just one quick clarification. When Misty was talking about a minimum of 2 required honors classes, she had mentioned liberal studies as the minimum requirement, but they're actually a minimum of 2 honors topics classes, not the liberal studies. Because, yeah, no worries, because here we go. Let me just make sure I'm on. There we go. Because with advanced entry, this might or might not apply to you as you're coming into the university. If you're coming in with 30 or more credit hours, then that reduces your elective requirement from 3 classes No, from 4 classes to 3. See, I'm not a math person. I'm more liberal studies. So simple math trips me up. Okay, so seriously, 4 electives are what are required typically, but if you're coming in with a lot of credits, then you can get that reduced to 3, possibly even to 2 if you're coming in. And the minimum requirement with electives is those 2 honors topics classes. So at the very least, you'll be taking those, but you might not have to take any liberal studies honor sections, depending on how many credits you're coming in with. And I will also say about the advanced entry, if you think you qualify for one of these 2 particular groups, then go ahead and schedule your courses as if you were in this, but we won't be able to actually approve you for either of these distinctions until the end of the summer, because we need to wait for the registrar to get everything processed and approved and posted. But go ahead and sign up for your classes as if you believe you will be approved. And if there's a problem, then we'll reach out to you and let you know. But we should know that by the time school starts. So we'll be able to get in contact with you about that. Okay, so few things to remember. Just make sure that I should say, once we get the attendance sheet from Jordan after the advising session is over, then what we'll do is pass that along to our office administrator, and then that will give you all the attribute for UHP, which will allow you to go into Banner to sign up for colloquium, which is the honors 1700. And then possibly if you wanted to sign up for a liberal studies honors section, like those 1100 classes are the best for first year students. If you already have credit for that, no worries. You don't really even need to take another honors section if you're going to be on campus for all 4 years. If you wanted to take another honors topic, you could possibly take one of the other, like a 2000 level LBST, and that would be another great way to get involved with honors. But at the very, very, very minimum, you need to have honors 1700 on your schedule for the fall, because if you're not in that class, then you won't be able to proceed with the rest of the cohort beyond. So just make sure that that's in there. Okay, that's all that we have. Dr. P or Misty, did you have anything else that you wanted to add to the mix before we jump into some of the questions?
I'm all good, but we do have a couple of questions if we're ready to jump in.
Okay, let's do it.
Perfect. So we have a little bit of a specific one from Kiana Jean, and they say, so I'm coming in with 60+ credits, but I need an LBST to finish my Gen Ed. Should I take those in regular instead of honors?
Well, I think if it's an honors section, then being in honors sections are kind of cool because they tend to be smaller sections than the regular scheduled or the regular size sections. And then you also tend to get a little bit of a different approach to those classes. So if you have something that you need to take for graduation, you certainly can. You're not restricted just because you're over those 60 credits. But what it does mean is that you would be still taking 3 electives because you still would need to take those honors topic 3700 classes, the 2 of those.
All right, awesome. And then Robin says, I think, do we need to sign up for honors classes before SOAR or with the rest of classes? So you can't register before SOAR begins. You're given access during SOAR. So you'll do all your registration at the same time, and you'll be able to register when you get the UHP attribute.
Correct. And the only exception to that are those of you who are on this call that have already been through SOAR this week. You would have registered for your regular classes already with your academic advisor, because you will still, even though you have an honors advisor, you will still have your academic advisors that you need to interact with to make sure you're on track to graduate for your major or your minors. But For this group, now that you've been through the UHP advising, we'll put the attribute and then you can register for your honors classes and then you'll be done. But everybody else moving forward will register for honors and regular classes all at the same time.
Great. And then we have an anonymous attendee who asks, do honors classes weigh more towards my GPA?
No, it's not like high school. Everything is the same 4.0 scale, the same 3 credits, 1 credit, whatever it's weighted for that. But you do get a cooler experience in honors. I'm a little biased. I'm sure everybody on this panel is a little biased, but honors is a really cool experience to have.
Great. We did have another one. Oh, there's more in open. Perfect. So how will we know, says Allie, how will we know when we have our attribute and can register for classes?
You'll be able to see that in your banner profile when you log in, but I can also send out an email once we have it all structured so that you're just getting a confirmation.
Great. Okay. So there's a couple about, okay, we want to answer, are there any honors business classes?
There's an entire business honors program, and that is something that you're either in business honors, arts and architecture honors, or university honors coming in as a first-year student. So that would be, it's like a Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, you know, the fork in the road. It's a different honors program, and you can't be in both.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, Misty. I should point out, Business Honors does offer us seats, 5 seats a semester in their honors Econ courses. So it is possible for a university honors program student to take macro and or micro Econ with the Business Honors program.
Great. So there are 2 questions, one from Julius, another one from Anonymous, asking about they have AP credits or credits to exempt LBST courses already. Can they count that credit to honors, or how do they fulfill that part of the honors requirement?
Yeah, that's a good question. You do, just because you got AP credit, or maybe you did dual enrollment and got actual college credit, that does not count as an honors credit unless you were registered in an honors course. And then it still would need to be approved by Dr. Adno, who is our Associate Director of Curriculum. But typically, you do not get the credit toward honors if you did not take an honors section on campus at UNC Charlotte.
Right. The only exception to that would be if you qualify for advanced entry in one of the 2 levels of advanced entry, and that is just one of a whole bunch of credit hours you're coming in with for honors. But the answer to what do you do is you then go ahead and take either other LBST courses, or you go and move into the citizenship course, 2301. And or the honors seminars, 3700s. And that's where Ms. Lynch or Ms. James, if you qualify for that level of advising, can really help you with that. One of the things to keep in mind too is that the honors courses aren't just like checking off a box to get the credit hours done. It's the collaborative experience of being with other honors students from whom you learn so much. I think Misty probably can speak about the way the honors community forms around particular courses. And so it's really not just trying to get requirements out of the way to graduate with honors. It's really about the whole experience of being with other honors students in that collaborative learning environment.
Yes, for sure. I unknowingly and early on, and I think it was my sophomore year, I took a dystopian literature honors course, and I ended up meeting my future roommate. We had a lot of fun together in that class, and we would all try and go to the same events in UHP, because there's so many social and enrichment events that we hold, and we just kind of say, yeah, let's all go together. You know, like I said, it's more of a discussion-based environment rather than lecture. So it really opens up those opportunities for you to make those friends and have those connections with your peers that you don't really have in a lecture style course. So for sure, it's not just about ticking those boxes for your graduation requirements. It is about what you enjoy and what you want to study and get out of your honors courses.
Right, and you get out of it what you put into it. So if you're just trying to check the boxes, then that's going to be the type of experience that you have. But if you're really open to, remember what we said, engage, experience, empower. If you're really open to engaging yourself and having those experiences both in and out of the classroom, it's going to really improve your overall experience in honors, and it's going to set you on the right path for once you leave the campus.
I think we still have a lot of questions we need to get through that are open.
We do, yes. A good one from Robin is, will UHP students still move in early like in the past? If not, is there a date by which they need to arrive within the move-in week?
Yes, move-in will happen earlier. We're just not 100% sure what that date will be, because it used to be everybody moved in over a weekend, and UHP moved in that Thursday before so that they could do an experience on that Friday. But now the university is stretching out move-in over the course of a full week. And we just don't know what date we're going to be in part of that. But we should be at least either that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But we won't get confirmation of that until at least next month.
Great. So Juliana says they are coming in with roughly 40 credits, and since this would qualify them for advanced entry, they would not have to take an LBST class this semester. So this semester, every incoming student in UHP has to take colloquium, the Honors 1700 LBST. After that, you know, it's what works with your schedule. It's if you get approved for the advanced entry. I'm sure you can speak more on that, Ms. Lynch.
Yeah, no, Misty's absolutely right. At the very minimum, everybody who is in UHP first year needs to have Honors 1700 on their schedule. After that, it really depends on what the rest of your schedule looks like as to whether or not you need to do another honors. You're not required to do another honors. You're not even, when you're in the program, if your schedule is such that you can't fit an honors class into one of the semesters, that's okay too, because, you know, sometimes we have students who will skip a semester and not do an honors class and then come back to their honors at another point. So there is a lot of flexibility.
If I could speak to the part about the recommended for the, I don't know where the question just went. They were asking if it's recommended for their course of study, what would they do about that?
Would I have place out of it or still have to take, or would I place out of it? Yeah.
For their advisor in their major. Or whoever their advisor is to answer. We can't speak to whether or not it would be something that you could place out of or not. That's for your major to decide.
Awesome. Another anonymous person asks, after your first year, do you have the option to join the honors program within the program for our college? How do we join those individual honors programs? So those departmental programs are, it all depends. It depends on your college or what department you're in. They all have different ideas of when you should start those departmental honors programs. So for example, for English, you'd start your senior year, you'd take a 2-course sequence, and then language and cultural studies is the same thing. So you just have to do some research online, talk to people in your department, your professors, if you're interested in departmental honors. But typically, you don't start your first semester of your freshman year. That happens later on down the line. But if you're interested, definitely do start early, start questioning and start researching when you'd be able to join those departmental honors programs.
One of the places to begin that research is on the Honors College website. If you click on honors programs, the entire list of all the 30 honors programs is available there. You can click on your particular college or department And then the faculty advisor for that honors program is right there, and their contact info is right there. The requirements for the program are right there. But no, typically the only 3 honors programs that begin the freshman year are business honors, arts and architecture honors, and university honors.
Great. We had a similar question a little bit ago, but will we get an email letting us know when the UHP attribute is added?
Yes. I will, hopefully, Jordan will be able to get that information to me pretty quickly, and then I will forward that, filtering out the people who aren't already in UHP, and then have our office administrator take care of that, and she is usually right on top of it, and so it shouldn't be more than an hour from when we break from here.
Awesome. So we have some questions about UWrite. So are the UWrite honors courses required in the freshman year, and are they considered an elective?
UWrite is actually not one of the courses that counts for honors, but we do offer honors sections for those of you who still need to take them, who didn't place out either with AP credit or by taking other courses. But the UWrite class does not count toward the 20 credits in honors.
And the reason that we offer those as honors sections, even though they don't count for university honors, is because we, just truth be told, we pick the best faculty from UWrite. So I would recommend for 2 reasons to take the honors sections of UWrite if you need them. One is other honors students will be in that course, and that will help create honors community. And the second reason is because those are some of the most exciting instructors in that department.
Agreed. Awesome. This next question is one I am excited about. So they say, how does studying abroad count towards honors classes? Awesome question. I studied abroad twice. Yes, I studied abroad twice, and I interned in the Office of Education Abroad before I interned in Honors College. So, so it really depends on the program that you study abroad with. Most typical programs that we offer through Education Abroad don't have any honors components, but the Honors College itself does offer honors experiences abroad. So we've had Citius Text Abroad twice now. I think we're going again in a year, 2 years. Yay, good. Yes. Oh, Poland, that's exciting. Yeah. I crashed the trip in Budapest this year while I was in Spain. It was great. So yes, it just depends on the program, and you can, you'll hear more about this as you contact the Office of Education Abroad, but they have a portal that you can search any type of requirement or any type of course, and it'll pop up with all the study abroad opportunities that offer that type of course. So just depends.
Yeah, if you take one of these study abroad courses that has honors credit, then that's like a done deal. If you take just a regular study abroad course, it has to be reviewed by Dr. Adno as to whether it will never carry honors credit, but it can eliminate one of your electives, if I'm remembering correctly, Ms. Lynch. Or
I
Ms.
think
Moran.
if it's approved by the Honors College at whatever stage of the game, it does count as an Honors 3700 class, but only 1 credit of that, not both. Because there are some programs that are 6 credit programs, and even though you might get 6 credit hours by attending toward graduation, only 1 or 3 of those credits will count toward your Honors 3700 class.
So 1 course, okay.
Exactly.
Great. Walt asks, what kind of class is Honors 1700 Colloquium? Can we expect a certain workload?
That is an excellent question, Walt. We are actually in the process of kind of redesigning that class. The class is intended to be kind of an intro into the concept of honors. It's a 1 credit class, so it wouldn't, in the past, there have been comments about having a lot of different assignments to turn in, but what we're really trying to do for this coming year is focus more on experiential learning and getting you out of the classroom and having you do some of these things, both from a COVID standpoint of not being in a tight classroom together, but also as a way to approach honors. Because like we said, engaging and experiencing is a large part of the honors experience. So while I don't have any more of a specific answer for you, know that it will be a really cool way to engage in honors.
If I can add on to that, one of the hallmark features of Colloquium for many years now has been the National Collegiate Honors Council trademarked activity called City as Text. And I'm saying it very slowly because whenever I say that word to my husband, City as Text, he kept saying he thought it sounded like Darth Sidious or something, or, you know, he didn't understand it. So it's City as Text, and you go out into the city, learn about Charlotte's history, culture, architecture, all kinds of cool things, and a lot of, it's a blast. It's an absolute blast. So we've done that, I think, for about 5 or 6 years now, had that as a hallmark feature of Colloquium, and that will continue.
Yes, I was in the second cohort, I believe, that did City as Text my freshman year, and it was so exciting. I'd never been to Charlotte before. I'd never really explored the city. I was pretty stuck on campus, and then now with the light rail and all that's possible, the connection between Uptown and the university area has never been closer. So it's a really awesome experience. We do have a student-made video on our YouTube channel, and there's a link to that. Well, there's a text that you can look up our YouTube channel on the next slide. But it's a really awesome experience to do City as Text, and you'll love it, I hope.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Katie asks, how can you be a part of things like ambassador programs, or how do you get more involved in the Honors College? And from my experience, that kind of comes with time. So there's so many ways you can be involved. You can be an ambassador like I was. You can go to SOAR sessions when they're in person. You can go and talk to other students who are interested in joining UHP and say, hey, this is a great thing to do, once you find out, you know, if you really like it. And you can serve on the executive board. And there's all sorts of things. You can help with community partners doing service. And the possibilities are endless. And you just have to keep your eyes open and go to as many honors events as you can. That's the real key. You want to get to know, especially the executive board, the staff. You really want to form those relationships and cultivate, you know, connections, and then eventually you'll be able to step into leadership roles and get more involved.
Yeah, and we send out a weekly email when school is in session that has a lot of really great blurbs and gives you information on how to get engaged or how to get more involved.
Awesome. Another question is, what is the difference between You Write 1103 and 1104, and are there honor sections offered for both? Dr. P, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, as the former chair of English, when first year writing was part of the English department, I think I have this one down. 1103 is more accelerated and standalone, and it is the only section we have honors sections of. 1104 has then an additional support component for students to work. It's as I recall, at least last time I looked, it's a 4 credit hour option, and we do not have any honors sections of that. So, and I don't know what the formula is they use to decide which section you are eligible to be in. So I can't speak to that part, but definitely the honor sections are only in 1103.
But I do remember them saying that last year, if you were in an 1104 class, you could still take 1103 in an honor section. You'd need to get a special override for that, but it is a possibility to do that.
Cool. Sounds like Twister gymnastics, but
pretty much.
But I will say it's worth it. Those writing professors, Dr. P was right, that teach You Write are fantastic. Dr. Campbell? Yeah, he was like highlight of my freshman year, taking his You Write class. Great.
Yeah, they're very cool. I mean, they're my former colleagues, so I really know them pretty well, and they're awesome. If you want, I'll answer the next one too, because I think it's hard for people to understand what this attribute thing is. The person asks, if I add honors classes before the attribute is added, will it automatically be added to my schedule when it is added? You can't register for honors sections until you have the attribute added. The attribute is this code that gets attached to your record and banner. And it's kind of like, think about it as like unlocking gates. If you have the attribute, the honors gate unlocks, you can register for honors courses, and then it will make all things possible. So hopefully that clarifies that. And then I'm not quite sure what the it is when it is added, but you definitely have to have the attribute first before you can register for honors classes.
Yeah, you'll get an error message. It won't let you register for the class.
Yeah. I think the thing, if I can just sort of extemporize for 1 minute, I think the thing to remember about registration that I really empathize with you doing this the first time, and it must be just like such a complete mystery. But so the thing you have to remember is you register for stuff during SOAR or after SOAR or in the week before you come, or whenever you get these courses registered for. It's a flexible system. You want to get things registered as soon as possible so you reserve seats in the courses that you want. But you can undo it later. If you go and register for a gen ed class like an LBST 1103, and then you realize like 3 weeks later it's not honors and you should have, and yeah, you have your attribute, you can go change it. And then there's a thing at the beginning of every semester called add drop. Add drop means you can add courses and you can drop courses. It's a little bit like shooting at a moving target, because you never know what's full, and you never know if the thing you gave up is something you're going to actually regret having given up. And it won't let you register for the same thing while you're still in one section. So Misty probably can explain how you navigate that. But all things are possible to be undone or redone at this point. So, and we'll help you through it. So it's not like, you don't have to be perfect at this. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, and definitely email me if you have any questions specific to your schedule.
Yes. Plus side is registration will never be like this for you again. You have priority after this semester. So you can just like wake up 8 a.m. the day of and type in all your CRNs and be done and know exactly what you have and exactly what you want. So deep breaths. I know it's weird. It's painful a little bit, but you're going to be okay. And definitely, like Dr. B said, you can just put classes in as placeholders and go in and change those later. It's not set in stone the minute you click register.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would encourage you to do is to definitely understand with honors, we do have limited seats. We try to meet the seat needs for all the students. We definitely do. But you don't want to just be laissez-faire about those, because that you want to take them while you can get them.
Do you have any other questions?
It looks like we have cleaned out the question and answer box
Awesome.
for the session.
I just want to, again, say welcome to the university. Welcome to honors for those of you who are not in honors currently. I hope you heard something during this presentation that might ignite your excitement to want to be part of honors for next year. In the meantime, though, we ask that if you are interested in connecting with us on social media, we have a specific handle for UHP on Instagram, which you can see on your screen. Then we also have the the Honors College channel on YouTube. And on that channel, there's a lot of really cool videos that are there. We are still building out our library. We just started this maybe about a month ago. But there's like a day in the life, there's a vlog entry, there's the information about City is Tax, there's the staff video. There's a lot of really cool things that are on that site. So hopefully you'll join us in those places. And please know, again, if you are in UHP and you have any questions about your schedule, shoot me an email. You've got my email because I've been emailing you like several over the summer. So you shouldn't have a problem finding that information. But if you have any other questions, whether you're in or out of honors, come to the Honors College once you're on campus and ask and get involved, because we would love to have you as part of our family.
All right. Well, thank you so much to our presenters and our participants for joining us today. And we will send the registration list over this afternoon. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact them, and good luck with the rest of your summer.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.